This is a this is a recording on the Tao Te Ching and talking, and how I had an experience once where um, a supervisor who was supervising three of us, three employees over at a particular work environment. I'm not going to say where, but it was very silent, and we were all new to the job, and we were all quietly working. And this supervisor kind of barged in. He said, "You guys aren't talking. Come on, get chatting." He was urging us and kind of goading us on to chat and to talk because we were so quiet. And it didn't sit well with me because my I've been reading the Tao Te Ching, and I find it to be a source of wisdom, and I don't find much wisdom in talking. So uh, I find talking and speech to be overrated, and I don't think very highly of having to exchange words. There's that saying, those who understand the nature of words don't play with them. Um, you work diligently and quietly, and you focus more on the competence of the job, which is nonverbal, than you do on compulsively verbalizing. So the Tao Te Ching has various passages on talking, and I'm going to go through those passages. It says in passage 2 of the Tao Te Ching, it says, "The sage goes about doing nothing, teaching, no talking." On passage 23, the Tao Te Ching writes, "To talk little is natural. High winds do not last all morning. Heavy rain does not last all day." Why is this? Heaven and earth. If heaven and earth cannot make things eternal, how is it possible for man? On passage 56 of the Tao Te Ching, it says, "Those who know do not talk, and those who talk do not know. Keep your mouth closed, guard your senses, temper your sharpness, simplify your problems, mask your brightness, be at one with the dust of the earth." This is primal union. He who has achieved this state is unconcerned with friends and enemies, with good and harm, with honor and disgrace. This, therefore, is the highest state of man. So there you have it. I don't have much else from the Tao Te Ching, but it's a book that has a discipline to it, and there's nothing more undisciplined than a compulsive verbalizer, somebody who's constantly has a need to talk and exchange words. I don't think very highly of such a person, and what I value the most is working competently non-verbally, whether you use a chainsaw and you're taking down a tree, or you're a farmer, you're whatever it is, if it's an essential service and it's necessary to the survival of the human race, such as plumbing is another one, electricity and power. These You need language and words to do these things, to do all these tasks, but there's a nonverbal component to it that is probably even more important. Um, the Tao Te Ching talks about the limitations of words, and it says, "Truthful words are not beautiful. Beautiful words are not truthful. Good men do not argue. Those who argue are not good. Those who know are not learned. The learned do not know." Uh, More words count less. Teaching without words and work without doing are understood by very few. So there you have it. The word is not the thing, and people who put an overemphasis on names and words and get almost they bewitch each other with words. And there's a passage on bewitchment in the Tao Te Ching, and it's there is no honesty. Honesty becomes dishonest. Goodness becomes witchcraft. Man's bewitchment lasts for a long time. So the Tao Te Ching is, for some people, Taoism is a religion. For me, it's not a religion. It's a book that that I return to again and again because it's a book of discipline, and you really can't make anybody happy in this world. You can make them miserable. You can make somebody very unhappy with words, but it's very unlikely that you could ever make anybody happy with words, and words and talking doesn't accomplish much. And as the Tao Te Ching says, one of the passages from the Tao Te Ching is open your mouth, always be busy, and life is beyond hope. So if you want hope and if you want to have a hopeful outlook on life, don't try to use words to have your way with people. Don't try to control people with words. Don't rely on words. Don't rely so much on talking. Focus more on action, doing, and get competency in something where um, if you're good at, if you get an insight into the needs of the situation, what needs to be done, well, there's doing cleaning the kitchen, cleaning the toilets, doing the laundry. All these things together amount to what the Tao Te Ching refers to as the 10,000 things. There's about 10,000 things that you have to keep track of, and that's why we make so many lists and categories, and we put so much effort into organization because there's so much to keep track of. So don't what I would say to that supervisor is that I'm not arguing with you, but you're not going to goad me into talking. You're not going to just say, "Hey, get talking. I want to see you guys all chatting." It doesn't work that way. You can't just boss people around like that and you know, prod them into talking. As I said before, those who know the nature of words don't play with them.